Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you hear me?
I can.
Good.
Just about. You're quiet though.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. We're good. We're good. How are you? You good? You alright?
I'm good, yeah. Yeah, had a
Perfect.
had a long week, but I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, what's happened so far this week?
I've just been caring for my mum all week, so it's
Oh,
been
cool.
it's been long, but yeah, we're getting there.
Cool. Work being supportive with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. Cool. Say no more.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on today. First lady to do a TikTok live with Manly Ego. So
I know,
history right there.
yeah. Yeah, that's good.
I don't know if it's mine or yours. It sound keeps on going in and out.
No idea. I can hear you, but maybe I just
That's
have to
better.
shout.
I can hear you again.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll just shout, it's all right.
Shout. Good. Let everyone hear you. Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. So start off with high school journey. I said I was going to start off right back with your high school journey. So
Yeah.
memories from high school.
Um, I don't really have any to be honest. It was just normal. It wasn't bad, wasn't good. It was just normal. Wasn't Yeah. Nothing really to tell on that one.
Nah.
No.
What's normal though?
I just I wasn't in the popular crowd, but I wasn't in the unpopular crowd. I was
Yeah,
just kind
yeah.
of in the middle. And we
I
just
hear that. Yeah.
but there was a good few of us. There was about 10 of us. Do you know what I mean? So then looking back now, you kind of think, well, we was kind of popular because there was 10 of us. Do you know what I mean? But
You
we
had
were
your
like
gang, right?
10 nobodies. So it's do you know what I mean? But that's a popular crowd still. So yeah.
No, I hear that. I hear
Yeah.
that. I think I like to put myself in that little category as well. Wasn't the one of the top, but
Yeah.
I hear that.
That's
No,
the
the
best.
reason I
It's
asked
the
that
best
is
place to be. I'm not gonna lie. It's the best place to be. Just in
why
the
did you say
middle.
that?
Because up the top is too much, to the bottom not enough. So you're in the middle. You're good.
I hear that. Safe place. Safe place.
Definitely.
The reason I ask about school is because I'm gonna go straight in with like ego talk and all that. How do you think like your ego as a lady or a teenage girl at the time played out at school?
I had zero confidence in school. I think I had a little bit of front. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd pretend I was like, but I didn't have any confidence as a teenager at all, at all. So yeah, I didn't really have an ego. I just was quiet and just got on with it because yeah, but I don't think,
Relatable.
as a teenager, I don't think you kind of have, I don't know, maybe some people do, but I didn't. I didn't have that as a teenager. Not at
So
all.
do you think it's like kind of a case of because again it's relatable where you're finding yourself at high school, isn't it? You're finding who you are and you play a role while you don't sometimes know who you are or what you want to
You
be.
think you're finding yourself in high school. You
You
have
think it was
no
at that
idea.
point?
You have no idea. But yeah.
What can you take from high school though? What was like what was your big takeaway from that? If you have to look back on it, how would you sum it up?
Um, I really don't have anything to say about high school. Like
Fair enough.
it was just not. It wasn't for me. I couldn't wait to leave. I couldn't wait to leave. It was just a waste of time. That's not the correct answer, but that's my answer. Like it did nothing for me at all.
Yeah, well, that's your truth, isn't it? That's a fair point. Um, so flipping it though, how did again, I'll say teenage boys because we're talking about high school. How did their ego play out for you? Because there must have been loads of ego, and I know as a teenage boy at school, I had ego and
Yeah,
tried
no,
to act a certain way or come across a certain way. How did you know? How did you? What's your makeup on that?
yeah, they're just boys, aren't they? It's loud. It's just what, yeah, it's just what they do at that age, isn't it? They're just showing off and trying to get girls to look at them, and yeah, just stupidness.
Stupid.
Which still they're doing at big ages. So yeah,
Why do you feel that is?
I don't know. It's just. I suppose it's like you said. It's their ego, isn't it? It's like it's the boost for them, like to get that attention, to get that, yeah, that acknowledgement sort of thing. But yeah,
I hear that. I think it's like insecurity as well, because I can say like I was insecure at high school. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? And the best way to cover that up is to come across completely opposite to how you feel.
Which, like I said, still applies to men nowadays. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that. Yeah, I'm not gonna man bash, but that. Yeah, that it is a lot. But it's the same for women as well. Women are all out there and drinking every weekend and having and it's because you got. Do you know what I mean? You got insecurities. You got stuff going on. It's not. But yeah.
So can you sympathize or relate to like, or at any stage, can you have you related to any of the sort of sympathies in the way you're saying you hear about ladies?
Oh yeah, of course. Of course, I've done stupid shit to get attention. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. And then, yeah, but I think as you grow older, then you start to see for yourself that certain things aren't as important as what you thought it was. And yeah, so I'm not, I'm not out there like that. I wasn't anyway, to be honest. But yeah, I'm out every weekend back in the day, but it's not. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't for. No, it wasn't for attention and that. It was just to let my hair down because when you're working a week, you need to let your hair down. But yeah, no, it's. I have. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, of course, everyone's got their insecurities, and but you get to a certain point, and then all that just goes. Do you know what I
I
mean? I'm
guess it
not.
does though, isn't it? But you have to be aware of it, and you have to look
Work
at
on it. You have to work on
yeah.
it. You literally have to work. You can't just wake up and be confident one day. You have to work on it. You have to work on yourself. And I've done a lot of working on myself, and I know now I am 110% secure in myself. Like no one can tell me nothing about me. I know my flaws. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm good at. Yeah, it's not, yeah. But like I said, that's a process. It takes a while.
So when would you say like you consciously started realizing I need to start working on myself? I mean, was there like a certain point where it was like enough's enough, or something inspired you to think, do you know what? There's some changes I can make.
I think it's just age. I think it just comes naturally with age. I think you just reach a certain age in your life when just shit just hits you and you think, hold on a minute. Do you know what I mean? Not saying I had, like I said, I've put the work in, I've done the therapy, I've done the reading, I've done all of that to get to where I am. But I think age helped a lot as well. Just getting to that certain age where you think, hold on, these things don't matter. You spend your whole life focusing on things that you think matter, but they actually don't.
I hear that, but it's not just down to age, is it? Because like you said, and like I've seen, there's still people, our age that are still acting a
Mm.
certain way. So
But then that's what I'm saying. You put the work in, you do the therapy, and then you'll get to an age where it all pieces together. But then people who ain't looking at themselves and they're not looking to help themselves and get the therapy and then of course they're not going to change. They'll be 60 and still doing it because they're
that's true.
not. Yeah, they're not. You're not. If you're not helping yourself, then what can you do? You can't. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's a good thing that you actually mentioned therapy and you were comfortable with mentioning it, because it's something that I've started as well.
Hmm.
And, I'm already,
Are you doing it just on your own, or are you doing it in the group?
no, I'm doing it by myself at the moment. So it's actually a course I've been given. And then a few weeks down the line, then there'll be one to one. So
Okay. See, I did the group therapy, which is like it's a lot worse because yeah, but it helps still, obviously, but probably one to one is probably more beneficial.
I think it's a good thing, because I mean, I've spoken to loads of people and they say I want to do therapy, and like me, I was always like, oh, I'll do it in the future. I'll do it another time, and tomorrow never comes, does it? But
Yeah,
if you really want to start work on certain things, you've got to take that step. So
yeah, yeah. It's not easy. It's not an easy process. You have to look in some deep dark corners
mm,
that you don't want to look in. But yeah, yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel that in down here in UK we look at therapy different to how they do in, say, America. Because in America, it's almost seems like it's something that's celebrated. You hear them on TV say, "Oh, I spoke to my therapist," as if it's a good thing, which it is. But down here, it's
Yeah,
still a bit more taboo, I think.
yeah, of course, yeah. Because we're English, we don't do that. Just get on with it. But I think times are changing. Do you know what I mean? Like our parents didn't have the opportunity of talking to their parents about how they feel. It wasn't like that then. Whereas now it is. You know, our kids can talk to us. Well,
That's
hopefully
a
they
good
can
point.
talk to us. But yeah, like yeah, it's different. It's different times.
So you have two amazing daughters,
Yeah, I do.
and you have a very good bond with them,
Yeah,
a good connection with them.
yeah.
How has that come about? I mean, I know you're their mum, obviously, but I mean, how have you built that connection, and why is that important?
Um, I raised my kids myself. So that's brought us closer together. But I know like people say, oh, you're not meant to raise your kids as your friend. You're the parent, and but I'm so open with my kids. I tell them everything, and then they tell me everything. Sometimes they tell me too much. Sometimes I don't want to know. But sometimes that's probably how they feel about me. They probably don't want to know certain things about me. But we're open and we just say it, and it works. You know, other people have said to me like, "How do you get that relationship with your kids?"
Mm.
And I'm like, I don't know. It's just that it's just naturally there, and I don't know. Obviously, it's down to how I raised them because I'm not a pushover. Yes, I raised them like they're my friends, but I'm not a pushover at all. I'm strict on them. They know they can't mess around. Do you know what I mean? And they're both successful to this day now because I push them to do certain things. So it's worked. It's benefited all of us. But yeah, I couldn't tell you why it's gone like that. It's just that's just how it's worked for us, and I can only hope that other people have that because yeah, I wouldn't want it any other way. Even you know, like I said, people see it wrong. Oh, you raise them like they're your friends. I don't care. I'm happy with my relationship with my girls. I'm happy with how they've succeeded in life. Do you know what I mean? So as far as I'm concerned, I've done nothing wrong. We're close and everything's good. Everyone's blessed. So
I mean,
yeah,
everyone's entitled to their comment, but I find that strange that people have said it's, you've raised them. You can't choose for them to be your friend. So that has to be something that's come from
no,
your
you know,
parent.
like no, yeah, but you know, like certain things you shouldn't tell your kids.
Okay, all
People
right.
tell me that all the time. You shouldn't tell your kids that. You shouldn't. Why? Why can I not be open with my kids so they know if I'm going through something or if I'm like I just don't see the point in keep like so I'm keeping myself and how I'm feeling or what I'm going through away from them, which is pushing them away technically because they don't know why I mean, as of right now, I'm like literally going through the menopause. Do you know what I mean? And they know if I'm a certain way, oh, it's because she's going through her menopause. Not that I'm ever going to use that as an excuse, but do you know what I mean? It's like they're aware. If I didn't say that, then they're gonna be like, well, why is she always angry? Why is she always shouting? Do you know what I mean? It's like, or if I'm going through something or I'm upset, I think you should be open with your kids. And they've
It's
always told me pretty much everything, everything that's gone on in their life. They've told me.
and it sounds like it's a very truthful relationship you have, and like you said, the fact that it's both ways that you tell them things, but they tell you everything, and isn't that a parent's dream to sort of know everything about your kids without having to force it? But if you built
Yeah,
that relationship naturally, I don't really see how that can be criticized personally.
me too. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, but and like I said, I've done it by myself. So do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah. No, I'm good. I'm happy with how I raise my kids. So yeah, it is what it is.
So, do you feel you're a good judge of um, your daughter's boyfriends?
Touchy subject. Um, mm,
Putting you on the
mm,
spot there.
yeah. Obviously, you have they're young still, so they're still not they've only got like what I think two each in their history. Do you know what I mean? And it's like yeah, one I like, one I don't. Same with the other one. One I like, one I don't. Um, but yeah, they listen to me. If something happens with their boyfriends and they come to me with it, and I say, and do you know what I mean? I give them my but it's hard because I'm giving them advice on a 43-year-old woman who's been through life. I can't put that on them because it's not fair, because this is their journey and they're going to experience it different to how I did. So I'll give them my advice, but then only to a certain extent, because I know I have to back off because my version of life is different to theirs. You know what I mean? But I will give them the warnings and things to look out for. But other than that, yeah, I have to let them get on with it. I have to let them get hurt. Do you know what I mean? Because that's going to build them and that's going to make them learn. They can't live off my experience.
That's a good point, and that must be hard. Have you seen situations where, unfortunately, maybe you could see it's going to end up in heartbreak or negatively, but like you said, you have to allow it to happen because it's the only way they learn. But in your mind, you've
Yeah,
been like, I knew it was going to go that way.
yeah. And then they get back together, and I know it's going to happen again. But I have to. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing I can do. Like I mean, I'm not one to speak. They've seen me do it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you just have to let them get on with it. But I like to think that it makes them stronger each time, because I know that that's happened for me. Every heartbreak, every headache, it's made me stronger. So yes, that's what I stress to them. You're in pain right now, but this ain't going to be forever. You will grow from this and you will move on, and that's life. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's not easy. Do you know what I mean? Like, yourself, it's not easy watching your daughters
100%.
go through heartbreak, and yeah, it's not nice.
100%. Yeah. But hey, like you said, that is life.
Mm.
So I want to move on to social media. So,
Mm.
with social media, there's a lot of pressure, and admittedly, I think a lot of it is on ladies,
Mm.
to look a certain way, be a certain way, um, you know, use filters. What's your take on all this kind of thing? Body shaming. What's your take on all this with social media?
Right, my thing about even not filters and okay, I all my social media is filtered, every single thing, because it's my social media. Social media is fake, so if I want to look like this on my social media, I'm going to look like that. You're going to see me in the street and I don't look like that. I don't care, because that's my social media. It's not real. It's not reality. So I'll come on here now without no filters, with nothing, because this is real. This. I'm speaking the truth, and my social media is just social
Mm.
media. It's not. But the whole thing with women is like all the lips and the all the stuff. It's not for men. It's the pressures of women against women. It's not like men don't care how big your lips are and how long your lashes are. They don't care. They prefer natural, but women are doing all these things because they're competing with other women. And that's when you go on social media and all you're seeing is skinny women. It's like, I need to go to the gym. But why do I need to go to the gym? Because all I'm seeing is skinny women. Like, and it's not, yeah, it's just all put on through social media. And like I say, yeah, I put all filters on mine because I don't think it's not because I'm insecure. It's just because it's my fun page. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not my reality. It's my fun page where I can post myself looking sexy and it's all good. And then I'm going back to my life where I'm working and I'm cleaning my house. It's not that, is it? I don't. And a majority of people don't live like how they live on social media. That's a 2-second picture, and then they're back to their reality, because social media is not actually real. But the thing that I find difficult is obviously how it affects teenage girls,
Right. That
because
goes on to
that's,
what carry on. Yeah.
yeah, it's too much. It's too much for them, because you don't, like I said, when you're secure in yourself and you understand, and it's not a problem. Like, I could go on there and I can see all these pretty girls. Okay, that's good for them, because they're never going to be me, so it doesn't affect my life that you're this and you're that. But for other little girls who are looking at that, it's horrible. It's terrible. And it's like, but it's how they have to live now. That's how they have to live, because literally social media runs everything. But as parents, this is where we have to step in and let them know that's not reality. Social media, it's not real. Do you know what I mean? But
So do
yeah,
you
I
feel you've
feel I
had to
feel
protect? Oh, Karen,
no, I feel for the kids. I feel for the kids having to, go through that.
do you feel
But I
you've
don't
had to
think I
protect
ever
your
had that.
daughters?
No, I don't think I ever. I've drummed into my like I've raised my girls to know that they're pretty, to know that they're beautiful. So no man can ever come say, "Oh, you're so beautiful," and they're like, "Oh my god," they know. Do you know what I mean? Like they know they're beautiful. I don't need to. So I don't think they've ever had any problems with it. No, I don't think they have. They might have and not told me, obviously,
Right.
but I don't think they've ever had the pressures of it and thinking, oh God, like no, I don't think they have. I don't think they have. I've been lucky. I don't think they have. But
Good.
yeah,
So,
I would have
oh,
struggled. Let me tell you, if that was me as a teenager, and because we didn't have this when we were growing up. We didn't have so. If this was me as a teenager, yeah, it would have been all over for me, mate. I wouldn't even be here because I would have, yeah, that would have been. I would have struggled. How I felt back then, and I didn't even have all this in my face, mate. Yeah, I would have struggled as a teenager with social media. I wouldn't have. Yeah, I wouldn't have made it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sure you would have adapted how you had to there, but yeah, it is a different world.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Yeah,
so also with the social media stuff, like a lot of the things I've seen that you put up over the past like couple of years, or at least the last sort of year and a bit, is seems to be quite self-empowering
yeah.
or empowering for others. So is there a goal behind that? Is that by mistake? Is that on purpose?
It's just when you're going through it yourself, it's good to share it. Do you know what I mean? So if you see something that you think, yeah, it empowers me, of course I want to share that. I want someone else to read it and think, yeah, because there's too much negative stuff going on in life. If you can just see one little positive thing that's going to make you, and I post funny things as well. I post,
Mm.
which is also empowering and sometimes could also be seen as man bashing, but I'm not. I love men. Do you know what I mean? But it's not, I'm not it's not man bashing. I don't ever man bash. Trust me, I know because of stuff I post. It seems like I'm man bashing, but I'm not. I'm not man bashing at all. But no, I want to share like empowering stuff because there's a lot of negative stuff in the world, and it's like if you can just get a little bit out there at a time. And I want to build up other people as well because you're building yourself up, and then what? You're up and everyone else is down. That's not going to work. Do you know what I mean? So I know it's only posting memes and little videos. It's probably not going to do anything, but it might. Do you know what I mean? You might reach one person and they think, oh, yeah, I like her story. Let me just keep watching her and see how her life's going and see how she can progress. And yeah, I mean, like when lockdown, remember when I did all the workout videos?
Yes. Yep.
I was posting them all the time, and people were watching my story because they wanted to see. And then it was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go gym, and people messaging me like, oh, how'd you do this and how'd you do that? It just naturally progressed to that. Do you know what I mean? And it helps. But yeah, I get people telling me they like to watch my stories and stuff, and yeah, it's no harm in it. Do you know what I mean? I'm like I said, I'm trying to better myself. If I'm always going to try and better myself. That's never going to stop because it's a journey. It's not just. I'm not just there at the destination. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be ups and downs. And sometimes I go through it and I post quotes like that, and then other times I'm happy and I post quotes like that. It's just sharing, isn't it? Sharing is caring.
It is. It sure is. And that's a good
Yeah,
point because you know, it's got to be more than a trend, isn't it? Because like you said, it is a life journey.
yeah,
One minute you could be good or I could be good, and the next minute we feel down. So I think people need to remember, it's stuff we need to keep working on all the time. Each time we
yeah.
change, our feelings and emotions change. So it is a lifelong journey.
I don't think there's any final destination. I don't think you're ever going to get there and think, oh, I'm happy now and this is me, because life happens. And the next day something bad can happen and you're rock bottom again and you've got to pick yourself up again. It's just how it is. It's not easy. Do you know what I mean? It's not. Life sucks sometimes, but then you just got to see the good in everything and then get on with it because there's no other option.
Moving on. So this is more of, I guess, a hobby that I know that you like. So I know you like your cars, fast cars and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you know, me being a man, I should know loads about cars, but you completely put me to shame with that. So where did the love for cars or the obsession for? Because I know you go to your rallies as well, don't you? Or the car events.
Yeah, yeah. I went to a car meet the other week and got pulled over because, because for my tinted lights, my lights had been tinted for years, and I was in Milton Keynes and they pulled me over. Four police officers surrounded me, a police van, a police car for tinted lights. Crazy.
Criminal.
Criminal, tell ya. But no, yeah, I've been going car shows since I was a kid, since I was a tiny baby. My dad was into cars, my brothers are into
Right.
cars, so yeah, I've been going car shows from when I was little. Um, and then I just continued it on. And then when my kids got to a certain age, I remember taking them. It was in Great Yarmouth to see the banger racing, the stock car racing. And I didn't tell them what we was going to see. I was just like, yeah, yeah, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go here. And they're like standing there, and then all of a sudden the cars come out and start smashing into each other. And they were like ecstatic. They were so happy. And I thought, it's in the blood. It just
It
happens. Do
must
you know what I
be.
mean?
So
Once you're around it, obviously, Johanna not so much now. She's obviously gone a different path, and she's not into cars at all. Kenya still goes and meet and does her car up, and yeah, it's just fun. It's just a fun hobby to do. Um, I don't think it hurts anybody, but obviously now they're bringing in all these ASBO things, and like because you're not supposed to go to them and whatever. But obviously people can get hurt. That's the point. But usually they don't. So, but yeah, no, it's fun. It's just fun, isn't it? It's a bit of
what
harmless
would be
fun.
what would be your dream car?
Um, I would have a few because if
You
I
can
if I
have
had
one.
that,
One.
my baby I got now, Golf,
So if
Volkswagen
you
Golf. That's all
so
you
if you had
need.
like unlimited money to buy whatever car, you'd buy that again.
I would have a done up Golf.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Or do you know what I would even? And I wouldn't even get like the brand new Golfs. I wouldn't even get a brand new Golf. I would get the old style Golfs, like the old kitted out. Like yeah, I wouldn't want a brand. I don't even like the shape of the brand new Golfs. I would go old school and get one done up, and yeah, yeah. I know it's weird because you think, oh yeah, you should get like a Ferrari or no, a Golf all day long.
Fair enough. Loyal. Loyal. Fair enough.
Yeah, loyal to a fault to me. That's my life problem. Jesus.
Right. So this is going to be a bit more of a deeper question. Changing subject completely again. Your biggest fear and why?
My biggest fear is not being here for my kids. That's it. That's it. And obviously, it was harder when they were younger because if anything happened to me, they'd go separate. They'd have different dads, so that one would go
Hmm.
that way, one would go that way, and they'd probably never see each other again. So that was always my fear. Like I can't go nowhere because I'm not having them separating.
Right.
I mean, obviously, they're older now and they're doing their own thing, so they're separate anyway. But I don't ever. Yeah, that's just my fear. I wouldn't want to leave my kids.
Completely understandable. I hear that. And yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
I'd relate to as well. So,
yeah. That's it. Yeah.
what must you achieve or do by the end of 2026?
Lose weight. I need to get in the gym. I need to get back in the gym. But I just don't have the motivation for it right now, and I know that I've got to push through that because obviously health. Do you know what I mean? That's the main priority. But on a side note, yeah, everyone wants to look good. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I need to get in the gym. I need to lose weight, and just I want to. Obviously, this year I want to travel as much as I can. That's my main focus for life now. I just want to travel as much as I can and just be happy and peaceful. Like I don't want like the extravagant lifestyle and this and that. I just want to be happy and at peace. And
Where would
obviously
the first destination be then? If you're traveling, where are you going? Where's the first stop?
March, I'm going Turkey in March. Um, and then depending on money, my goal, I want to go to as many places in Africa as possible. Like I've been Tunisia, I've been Morocco, I've been Uganda, I stepped foot in Ethiopia, didn't go out, but the first time my feet ever left England was in Ethiopia when I got there, and that was on a transfer flight to Uganda. But I want to travel as much of Africa as I can. I want to go Ghana, I want to go Nigeria, even South Africa. But obviously, that's what I want. Money ain't letting me do that. So you know, but Turkey will do for now. Turkey will do for now, and then hopefully I get to go more places this year.
Well, Turkey definitely gets you out of UK, doesn't it? So,
And I'm hoping it's going to be hot because yeah,
so if you had to give yourself a loving message for your future self, what would it be? So whether it's like some advice, some support, what message would you give yourself for 5 years from now?
um, I don't know if it's a loving message, but it's a real one. It's never
Go
that
for it.
deep. It's never that deep. That's it. It's never that deep. Anything you're going through is never that deep. It's gonna literally pass. Do you know what I mean? You're not gonna drown. It's never that deep. Like you will be fine. That's it.
That's real. That's
I
actually
wish I'd have told myself that years ago. It's
yeah.
never that because you know you stress and you panic and you put so much energy into things and it's like it's not that deep. Let it go and keep it moving. That's it. Life is too short.
Short, simple, but effective.
There you go.
And last one. How do you want your daughters to remember you when your time here is done?
um, I don't know. I was going to say that I enjoyed life, but I probably don't right now because I'm broke. But just I don't know. Just I don't know. Just I think, like I said, I'm secure in myself. I know myself. I know that I'm strong. I know I would want them to kind of take that from me. Do you know what I mean? The fact that my mum, like, same with me. Same with me. I mean, my mum's elderly now. I'm having to care for my mum, but my mum was a strong woman. My mum worked 3 jobs. My mum did everything. My mum was superwoman. It's got to the point now where she isn't that woman anymore.
Right.
And like you said, that's going to be me one day. And my kids think I can take on the world. Like my kids used to encourage me to go fight people when they were little. Yeah, mum, go tell her. And I'm like, what do you mean? I could get my ass beat. Do you know what I mean? But they're not thinking that because I'm their mum and I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win in everything because I'm their mum and they hold me to that height and that's what I like because everybody should see their mum on that pedestal. Do you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like even if they just see me as that I'm strong and I never let anyone take me for a dickhead because I don't. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to get in altercations and stupidness because I'm grown. But I'm not gonna have anybody disrespect me or my kids. And then they kind of take I know they take that on board already. certain situations my youngest has been in, and she's like, Mum, I just turned into you. And certain phrases she used because she knows, who are you talking to? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's my life. Who are you talking to? Because you're not talking to me like that. But I don't have to be. You don't have to be like, one of them loud, ballsy women.
Mm.
It's just respect. I fully respect everybody. So if I just at the bare minimum, I deserve that back. And I don't trouble nobody. I don't bother nobody. Like I said, I respect everyone. I'm not here for no dramas. But I'm also not going to be taken for an idiot. And they know this, and I hope that they take that on board for themselves. And if they do that, then they'll be good. They'll be all right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they definitely look up to their mum, and it's good that they hold you in that regard. So, and I
Yeah.
guess if they have children in the future, then hopefully the cycle continues. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's just, yeah. I like to think that I'm raising strong women, and I am. I mean, like I said, they're grown now. They're big, and they are strong, and they stand on their 10 toes by themselves. Do you know what I mean? So it's all good. Yeah. But if that's all I leave them, then my job's done. Do you know what I mean?
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
It's a nice finish. That's a nice finish. And so, if people do want to follow you on social media, whether it's another exercise journey, or you're traveling, or your empowerment messages or videos, where do they follow you? How can they find you? If you
Snapchat
want them to
and
follow you.
yeah, Snapchat and Instagram is milk_Trai, Trai. Um, and then obviously TikTok. I'm here. I'm here, right here. Yeah. But
Uh,
yeah, how are you, Malcolm? That's the main thing. How are you?
how am I? You're flipping it on me. I'm good. I'm good. I think I'm up and down. Do you know what I mean? It's like I said to a few people, all this man Ligo started from quite a tough year, and this is actually kind of one of my therapy things as well. Getting on here, talking, being more open, being more vulnerable. Like I've said in a lot of my videos, I think it's something that especially men don't do enough.
Mm. Yeah.
And I think these kind of conversations can be had without it be that we can have these conversations without taking it away from the men's masculinity, and
Mm.
that's the kind of thing I'm trying to encourage. Um, but yeah, personally, I'm good. My boys are good. Doing my best to raise them, being a good example for them. Um, you know, Making amends with my daughter. As you know, it's been a bit up and down with her, so that's me being real. But we're talking again, so I'll take that while we are. So
Yeah. That's good.
yeah, life is life.
Yeah. All we can do is our best. That's it.
100%.
But I'm glad I was the first female on here, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's history. See,
Yeah,
history.
because I have the biggest manly ego out here, mate. I think too much like a man, but I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to be in my feminine and just keep it soft and light.
Why do you say you think too much like a man? That's interesting because you said that to me before we went live. So
Yeah, because it's just like it's trauma. Like over the years, it doesn't make sense to be in your feminine. Like I said, I've raised my kids myself. I've done everything myself. If I need a shelf put up, I do it myself. If I need my washing machine, I
mm,
do everything myself. So, and then being out and doing, you just see things, and then the female side of things doesn't make sense to me. The men have it just it's hard to explain, but my mind just started programming like a man. And then I'd be with a bunch of guys, and they're like, "Oh, you think like us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's not my fault. It's just how my brain's programmed because of my trauma. Because I've been through so much, and I'm trying to stop myself from going through that. I've gone the other way, but then now it's like the age I am, I need to rein that back in, and because I didn't want to be hurt, so I put my guard up.
right.
Then I started rolling like a man and not caring about nothing. And then where's that going to get me? Nowhere. It's not going to get, and same for men. It's not going to, that attitude is not going to get you anywhere. You have to let your guard down. You have to let people in. You have to risk being hurt, even if it makes you look like an idiot. It's just what you have to do. And like I said, I'm trying to embrace the feminine side. It's still very hard for me because I still have to be in my masculine because I'm still doing everything myself. Do you know what I mean? So but then I have to just, yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but
You touched on a good point there. So how, what is the line for men? And I'll say even like through I've had experiences where it's almost like wrestling between getting the balance right, trying to come across as, you know, super masculine and, tough and stoic, or then trying to be a bit more open and show a bit more feelings. And it's like I've had it before in the past where I have tried to be a certain way. I've been criticized by a lady for it, man up or you're too soft, and then that made me revert back the other way. So I mean, what's the balance
but
you
see,
want in a man?
I'm the opposite. I've had people saying to me, "Oh, you're too much like a man," like moaning at me because I don't know. I don't know why, but that's what how you've been told that. Oh, you need to man up. I've been told you need to stop being like a man. But it's
Right.
just
Okay.
that's just what life has made me into because of my past trauma. But then you can't let your trauma determine where you're going because that's in the past, and that's what I still have to work on. But then, like I said, thinking like a man, it works for me because it makes sense. But it doesn't work in relationships because then I'm more I'm like the man and they're the girl. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause it's like, why are you being a bitch? But it's just, but then it's like, well, it's because I'm being too cold, I'm being too hard, and then that's what I get a lot. Like, oh, you're so cold. You just cut off. Yeah, because of course I can cut off because this is it's. Do you know what I mean? It's just how I programmed my brain because of trauma. But I shouldn't let that determine my life right now. Do you know what I mean? It's just not. It's not a
So
good
how do you
path to
think?
be.
So how do you think you'll change that dynamic?
I just have to. I have to. I was I have to back off, but I have to. I don't know because obviously, if it's relationship wise, I have to try and let that person lead. But then me being me, I let them lead, and then I'm thinking, this ain't it because I know I could do. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's very hard. It's very hard, but it's. I guess it's just finding that balance to know when to be soft, to know. Obviously, being cold is never good. Do you know what I mean? And that's just my natural thing. Like I'm not a huggy kind of girl. I'm not a, I don't love bomb people. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? And that's my attitude. I don't care. If you want to leave, leave. I'm not crying and begging you to stay because you like how much I've been through in my life. If you want to leave, you can leave. And then that's seen as, oh, you're just cold. You don't care. Well, I care, but I'm not. I'm not going to put myself through unnecessary trauma again when I've done that my whole life. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's literally finding the balance. It's finding the balance of what's soft and what's not. Like how you said for you, like they're telling you to man up, but you're just trying to be sensitive and probably consider their needs and and it doesn't work because they don't want you to do that. But then
Mm.
other women would want you to do that. But it's
And
just
that,
you just
yeah, no, yeah. That was like the thing is that was a long time ago. It was we're talking how long ago? Let me do the maths. That was close to 20 years ago, and in a way there was a lot of good that come from it. But it's also I remember the comment when it was said at the time, and it did change the way I act, and I do let my guard down a hell of a lot more now than I used to. But for a while it was like no, I can't because I remember that comment, and this is the way I meant to act, and that was just from one person's sort of comment. So it's
one person's opinion
mm,
because other women would probably appreciate the fact that you're sensitive to. It's hard, obviously. Yeah, everyone's different, and you have to just balance it with who you're with.
mm.
But as of right now, I'm struggling with the cold. You're cold. You think too much like a man. Like I'm struggling with that. But obviously, like I said, it's just a balance. And you just have to kind of we're either going to get it right or we're not. You know what I mean? Like I don't really know, but
Step at a time, right? Do you know what I mean? Nothing, no changes are going to be made straight away for anyone in any situation, are they? So
yeah, yeah. Well, we'll just have to see. But we can only, like I said, we're working on ourselves every day. That's all we can do.
100%.
Mm.
Right. I am super appreciative that you jumped on today. Like I
You're
said,
welcome.
first lady to jump on. You absolutely brilliant. Great perspectives. It was good to have the point of view from a lady,
Yeah.
and
Not
you're
that I'm
very open
the
and.
right lady for a
Sorry.
lady's opinion. Not that I'm the right lady for a lady's opinion, because I think like a man. But
No, you
yeah,
say that, but you've spoken from both perspectives, which is really good. Do
yeah.
you know what I mean? So, which is important, and
Mm.
you're like very honest with your answers. You showed vulnerability, which I think is important as well. And
Which I don't do
you know,
too often, just so you know.
well, there you go. So, privilege, see.
There you go.
Uh,
But yeah, no,
it's a
thank you
plan,
for having me. It's been nice. It's been nice.
and maybe we'll get you on here again in the future if you're up for it. So,
Maybe.
yeah.